The Long Beach Comic Expo is our very first fan convention of the year that we will be going to. It's happening this weekend. And tonight we have special guests Retro Batman and Chrise from Cosplay Comedy to discuss Long Beach Comic Con with us. And they have another event coming up as well. Plus, The Walking Dead is back. Lego Movie 2 is out. Tons of geek news. And you're going to have a lot of fun this week on the Con Guy Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show.
Imagine that there is music playing right now.
Imagine.
Can we sing something?
This is where it usually happens.
We could all just sing different tunes, like the Hogwarts school song, and just make it up.
Every week there's a new rule for music use online. So anyways, welcome to the Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show. My name is Jim Fry. I am the managing editor here. We have a room full of great guests. This week, who do we have?
Hi, my name's Derek Sams. I'm a contributor to theconguy.com.
I'm Katie. I'm a cosplayer and costume designer and just a consumer of nerd culture and news.
Resident gamer.
There you go.
I am Retro Batman, and I'm relieved. I thought you were Selena Kyle for this whole time, and I am going to be appearing in the Cosplay Comedy at Long Beach Comic Expo with my buddy Kyle Chrise.
Hey, I'm Kyle. I'm an alleged comic. I'm also the producer of Cosplay Comedy, coming this weekend to Long Beach Comic Expo and our big Captain Marvel kickoff party next month at Black Cat Comics in Burbank.
All right, we're going to hear a lot more about that in just a few minutes, guys.
And I'm Jess Cheeseman on the couch with theconguy.com.
All right, I'm going to repeat a pledge that we had last time on the Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show, but with a little bit of change. Our pledge here on the Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show is that this is the place where loving Jack Kirby does not mean that you hate Stan Lee. Where Marvel gets along with DC, boys and girls are not from different planets, and where we fan the flames of your fandom and fight against all those mean people who try to ruin everything. Can't have anything nice these days. In short, we are fans, and this is your place to geek out. That is our way of saying no toxic fandom here. We are all about the fandom. We love the fandom, and we just want to make everybody feel safe. We just want to wrap our arms around everybody and feel safe here on the Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show. Anyways, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. Katie, you had just real quick. What was it you did this morning? You showed me a really cool picture.
Yeah, I got to go to it's the 25th silver anniversary. I don't know what 25 years is.
Yeah, silver.
Silver for the Anaheim Ducks team. So they're having a celebration week and doing all these events. Tomorrow they're screening The Mighty Ducks with some of the cast members and stuff. But today they had an event at California Adventure. That was, as long as you had a ticket to go to the park, you could go to the Hollywood backlot. They had meet and greets. They had all of Stage 17 was set up with activities. It was the fan headquarters. They had
Emilio Estevez.
They
Emilio!
They did a cavalcade at 1:15, so they were all on the trolley and walked down.
The real Anaheim Ducks.
Yes,
Okay.
like the players and everything. And then they just had a lot of activities. They had 2.5 hours of footage on a reel in where they used to have the Muppet Theater, so it was cool.
That's
Some
awesome.
themed merchandise and stuff. You had to be there at doors opening to get the wristbands to meet the players, so that's why I've been up since 6 a.m.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
So, just to review on tonight's show, we are going to be spending the second half of the show talking all about Long Beach Comic Expo, or at least as much as they will let us know right now. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Thank you guys. Thank you for Kyle Chrise and Retro Batman.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I know we're going to talk about Long Beach Comic Expo, and I know we're going to talk about Cosplay Comedy there, and then Cosplay Comedy at Black Cat Comics in Burbank on March 9th. But I want to start off by saying I know Valentine's Day is a lonely time for a lot of people. And I know there's some people out there, like yours truly, who have a tough time with it. Being Bruce Wayne on Tinder is easy, right? The profile says, billionaire playboy philanthropist lives in a mansion with his butler, Alfred.
Oh, no.
But Batman, my Tinder says, weird vigilante crime fighter, dresses like a bat, lives in a cave with a teenage boy. There's a lot of red flags in that one. So for all of you out there who are having a lonely time around Valentine's Day, come on down to Cosplay Comedy at the Long Beach Comic Expo this Saturday. We'll give you a big warm hug.
Great dancer Batman should have on his
yes.
profile.
Oh, yeah.
That to see your pants off, sister.
And for those who watch the show regularly, you probably recognize Batman and Chris because they were on the show back in October when we were talking about the Los Angeles Comic Con, and you guys had a packed house at your session down there.
That was, it had to be, as far as audience numbers, our most successful show. I think I didn't count. I think it was 325 seats. Maybe I counted. And it was, it was a great show, and they were so good down there at LA Comic Con for us, and we're keeping it going. We're keeping the train moving.
And Cheeseman, you were there. What'd you think? And we'll talk about, because I know that you like some of the...
Batman killed it, and so did Spidey. That's all I gotta say. Spidey hosted.
Wait, is this a secret identity, though?
Oh, no, well, I think it's pretty well known now that the chubby white guy is Spider-Man, right? Now that we have the Miles Morales version out there.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead.
Peter Pumpkin Eater over there, little Peter Parker.
How did he even get into the Spider-Verse? That's what I want to know. Okay.
All right, we are going to start our show. I'm talking about Walking Dead first, and we have a little bitty video from our friend Brad. So if we could show the video from Brad, this is Josh McDermott.
Eugene.
Working on The Walking Dead is the most amazing experience I've ever had in any aspect of my life, not just acting. I was such a huge fan of the show before I started working on it, so to step into this world, I'm really getting like the most extreme fan VIP experience that anybody could ever have. I can't believe that I get to call these people my family, the cast, the crew. Everybody from top to bottom is working their ass off to make this the best show they could possibly make it. I don't know that I've ever been on a set where there is zero ego. This is Hollywood, for crying out loud. Most people are drawn here because they don't know what else to do with their egos. It's so amazing to be able to walk into that environment and people literally don't care what project you did before or what kind of status you have in Hollywood. All they care about is the work and making it the best show they can possibly make it.
So that is, there we go. For those of you who are just listening, that was Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene on The Walking Dead, and he came back in a big way.
It does feel weird to hear him speaking without the southern accent.
Yeah, without the accent, without
he
crying
still has
half
the mullet.
time.
I was noticing it's still a mullet. I always thought that was a wig.
Oh no, real deal mullet. He's bringing it back.
All right, we got about a minute here to talk about The Walking Dead. The mid-season premiere for season 9 came back. Did anyone besides myself see it?
I did.
All right, what did you think?
I liked it. I mean, it's fun, but what my biggest critique I've said about the show in general is they've split people up so much that it's like everybody's so like there's like no Carol in the episode or there's no and other people have left the show. They've scattered them so much now they're giving them movies.
Yeah.
But it does feel like this new kind of cool, almost more horror direction that they're taking with the Whisperers, because it has this kind of Texas Chainsaw weird mask thing that it kind of really adds a new kind of scare factor to the zombies, because the zombies haven't been as scary as they can, but the Whisperers seem like they could really build some horror into it. But I enjoyed the episode. I think it was fun. They did some cool stuff with Negan. I'm not quite sure where that's going to go, but he may not be so bad right now, but you never know if he's still got that once he gets Lucille back, if he'll turn into a...
I'm familiar with the comic storyline. Have they raised the stakes? The problem in the comics was when you went from the Negan conflict to now the Whisperers, it was kind of like, these guys aren't as badass as Negan with the bad is. Do you feel like the stakes are high enough?
Nope.
Not yet.
Nope. I mean, people have died. They killed Jesus. And which is a character on the show. For those who don't
I didn't
follow
know about
the show.
this. I am behind.
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I forgot to tell you guys.
Yeah, Jim.
Oops.
Goodness.
So, Derek, they killed Jesus was just a reference to Easter, which
Yes,
is happening
Easter's coming up
in
very
the spring.
soon.
Of course.
So it's just a holiday thing.
But I'm going to try to give away no other spoilers.
I've read that graphic novel.
Okay.
I know how that story goes. Yeah.
But so they tried to demonstrate that they were kind of creepy, but I didn't like this episode nearly as much as what Cheeseman liked it.
I didn't say I said it was like all right. It was
a yawner for me. It was boring. Nothing happened except for Judith pulled the gun on Negan and captured him all by herself. Wow. How silly is that?
You did not like TV this week.
No,
we are spoiling, right?
How did we go
we're kind of not spoiling.
How did we go from no toxic fandom to let's crap on the wall?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hypocrisy noted.
Oh.
But
Well,
no, I like The Walking Dead. I still like it. I just thought this episode was just a very easing back into the season rather than usually a mid-season
wasn't a big-
premiere is a big deal.
Yeah.
But
Because
I'm still watching.
that graveyard scene was pretty cool, although they killed Jesus.
Yep. Spoiler alert.
Again, Easter,
Spoiler alert.
Easter.
is
But-
coming.
But I guess.
the
Anyways,
question will be, does he come back?
there's a well, he was kind of pale, really kind of.
They
like
did bury
bloodless.
him this episode. so
Speaking
maybe the
of
third
news
episode.
of Walking Dead, we were able, myself and Cheeseman and some friends were able to hang out and go out for drinks with Ross Marquand, who plays Aaron on the show last weekend. He said that he would love to come on the show with us, so we're going to see if we can get him in. But he's just having a blast. He couldn't talk anything about Walking Dead, of course. He could not talk anything about Avengers because, as you know, he was also the Red Skull in Avengers Infinity War.
Oh,
We're
right.
like, so are you in Endgame? I can't talk about that. So, it was great. Anyways, so a little tiny bit of news about Walking Dead. Did you hear about Danae Guerrera? Did
That
I say
she's Denai.
Denai?
Guerrera, yeah, that
I
she's
know.
going to be leaving the show. I did read about that.
Yes, but she's not being killed. She's going to
Okay.
join Rick in the movies.
Yeah,
which
interesting.
makes me kind of happy. So.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all the Walking Dead news we have.
Jaded.
Derek, if you
Talk
could
bulletin board?
if you could run through the bulletin board before we jump
Yeah,
into our
coming
news.
up, I think we already mentioned this, but this weekend, February 16th and 17th, is the Long Beach Comic Expo, which includes C3, the Comic Creators Conference, and the Geek Fest Film Festival. And I believe it's Saturday at 3:30 is when
That is
people can
correct.
see the cosplay comedy.
That's right.
Well, hammer that home. You just
Yeah.
found that out today.
Yes, hours ago.
Yes.
Minutes ago.
And exactly 1 month after that, March 14th through 17th, is Emerald City Comic Con, which is
Seattle.
Yeah, that's Seattle, and it's a little bigger than I realized. They have several of the young actors from Stranger Things are going to be there.
Cool.
Gaten Matarazzo, Caleb McLaughlin, Finn Wolfhard, then Rupert Grint and Jason Isaacs, Gwendolyn Christie, who plays Brienne of Tarth, and also
loving her right now.
and Captain Phasma, and Sonequa Martin Green of The Walking Dead
Wow.
and Discovery.
Well, Seattle's always a big one, and it's a very
Yeah.
comic focused, but it's kind of cool they have all these people going
I mean,
up there.
several of these, like, I don't realize just how big they are until I look at the list of guests and then see some of the numbers because, we go to several of the ones around California, but, I've never been up to Seattle for their conventions. And then WonderCon is happening a couple weeks after that, March 29th through 31st in Anaheim. That's got attendance of around 60,000 usually.
60. I think they're getting closer to 80 right now.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
they're trying to accommodate more because they have the North Hall open now because they
They
said
took
that.
all the walls down. I drove by today.
Did they?
really?
No walls around the convention center. Huh. So I think it's all done. I don't know.
They're
Fantastic.
letting everybody in.
It's good for all. And we can't make official announcements though, but unofficially, the con guy will be hosting a panel at WonderCon. But we're going to wait until the official program comes out before we talk about it.
Yes, and we are all planning to be there. I
Yes,
think all of us.
I
yes.
hope so.
Another piece of news about WonderCon, I was just reading. They are currently doing early bird pricing on their tickets, but that ends on Thursday. Thursday is when the price goes
wow.
back up. So on Valentine's Day, you have to pay full price for tickets. But now, if you buy badges for all 3 days, you save about $19. Whereas Thursday and beyond, it's back to the regular price. So,
And I think they're still having the hotel. They may have sold out the 2 host hotels right there at the convention center, but they had some pretty good deals.
yeah, I don't know about that. And then April 11th through 15th is the Star Wars Celebration, which we talked about before. You probably know more about it than I do.
It actually is all sold out except for. Batman? Have you kept up with it at all? I know that they have.
I don't know.
They have like one day that's. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Thursday is still
Probably
available.
like Thursday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, but it's mainly all sold out. But you'll be able to watch the entire. The biggest panels of the convention are going to be streaming on StarWars.com, and I think also on Sci-Fi.com.
Can I add 2 notes to this?
Yeah.
Gallifrey 1 is this weekend
Yes.
Oh, yes.
for all the Whovians, but I mean it's sold out. It sells out fast.
it
But
sells
if
out like
anybody
in 30
sees-
minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's here. Is it here in Burbank?
No, it's over at the LAX.
LAX. That's right. Okay, and then
And
that's
Ben's-
right. Yeah.
Ben's
And-
going
yeah,
to.
Yeah,
Ben's gonna
Ben's
be there.
going
He'll-
there.
he'll
Ben
give us
will
a
be
report.
giving us a full report.
Yeah. And
full
also
report.
That's the Doctor. That's the Doctor Whom.
You know,
Is that right? Am I saying that right? Doctor Whom?
It depends on how you use your grammar, I guess.
Okay.
and then
John Barrowman's going to be there.
sorry, I am having a brain fart. Sorry, D23 tickets are on sale.
Never
already.
heard of it.
So if anybody wants to go to, it's not till August. I don't know the exact date.
23rd?
Yeah, but the tickets are already on sale for that.
Yeah.
So it got named LineCon 2 years ago, so we'll see how that goes this year.
What do you mean by LineCon?
Because everybody, it was like a mess. Like to get in the building took like 2 hours.
I did hear about
It was
that.
I heard.
terrible.
I think they're probably going to fix that.
Well, that's just it's funny to me because Disneyland knows how to deal with lines, but apparently.
But you know what? Let me just say this in defense of D23s that Disneyland people are used to going
Yeah.
to Disneyland and they can wait in line and get anything they want. The same crowd shows
Yes.
up at
Yes,
a convention, and conventions work differently.
Yes.
So if they don't get into what they want, they're like, ah. So
But just getting into the building would take an hour and a half to do
Yes.
it, which is ridiculous.
It was
'cause
ridiculous,
Most
yeah.
conventions, you just walk in, boop, do
Yeah.
a little badge, and
I've heard that they
Minimal
have
security.
really put a lot of effort into fixing that problem, and all the line con is something they do not want to be known as because they know full well from what
Yes.
we've heard that they were known as that. So they
my
are.
dad would not wait in that line, and he's a huge Disney fan.
All right, Derek, what else you got?
At
Yeah.
least you have a dad, Cheeseman. Well, you sit there on that couch with your smug little headset on. My dad just went out to see a movie. All right, took his family out. Arthur, the chauffeur, doesn't show up. All right? Okay.
I feel much better now.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't, but thanks.
So let's go to a movie sometime.
Okay,
Thanks,
yeah,
yeah.
all right.
Thanks, Batman. So April 19th through 20th is Salt Lake Fan X, which of course is in Salt Lake City, Utah. And that one's another one that has a big list of guests that I didn't realize. Brian Baumgartner, who is Kevin in The Office.
Oh, okay.
He's there. And then that's actually one of probably the less recognizable names of this huge list that I read. David Bradley, who played Filch in Harry Potter and who played the first Doctor again in Doctor Who recently. Irene, is it Bedard? The voice of Pocahontas and the voices of Jasmine and Aladdin are all going to be there. Val Kilmer, Warwick Davis, Casey Cott from Riverdale, Mike Coulter, Luke Cage, Palm Clementif, who was in Guardians 2,
Yes.
and Billy Piper, Rose Tyler from Doctor Who.
Oh, nice.
So a huge list of guests there in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City is one of the larger Comic Cons. They used to be
Yeah.
larger. They went through a rebranding and a moving, and they lost a lot of attendance, but they're expecting their attendance to spike back up.
Yeah, I mean, with guests like this, I could imagine.
They have really
They're-
good guests. My friend went 3
Yeah.
years back. Like she really enjoyed it.
There's one of the few remaining independent comic conventions. They're independent. They're not attached to one of the bigger event organizations, and they're the ones who got sued by San Diego Comic Con to stop
Take
using
away.
Comic Con.
And that's why there's Salt Lake Fan X.
Yes,
now.
it's Fan X. That's as away from it as you can get. Derek, thanks for doing all the work there and finding all that stuff out for us. All right, we're going to do
That's what we're here for.
something right now that we tried out last week. We're going to do something called our 3-minute Week in Geek.
Ooh.
And I'll do it this week. I'll probably pass it off and see if Katie can do it next time. But
Wow.
all right.
Can you go through
By
all
the way,
those things?
can we also forgot to introduce our engineer extraordinaire, Steve, in the booth.
What's
How you-
up, everybody?
Hey, my man.
Steve.
Hey,
All right, and
Go ahead to light the fires, kick the tires. Know what I'm saying?
All right, and Steve is he's keeping us on track, and he is giving me a 3-minute clock.
Yes, sir.
And you tell me when you're ready, Steve.
All right.
All right. We go in 3, 2, 1.
Lego Movie 2 opened this weekend. It only hit $34 million. Well below expectations. You liked it?
Yes, I still enjoyed it.
Liked
enjoyed it.
Not a lot of time talk. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Hulu.
Oh, the pain.
Hulu has ordered animated series based on popular Marvel television characters MODOK, the giant head, Hit Monkey, Tigra and Dazzler, and Howard the Duck.
There you go, Brad.
They will culminate in a special event called The Offenders. Get it? Netflix, The Defenders, The Offenders. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Kevin Smith is producing Howard the Duck series. This is going to be cool. The real-life raccoon model for Rocket Raccoon, sadly, has passed away from the Guardians films. Julie Adams from one of my favorite films. She's the damsel in distress from The Creature from the Black Lagoon. She has passed away at age 92. Lee Wanell is writing a script for the reboot of John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Tomorrow, by the way, we are taping this show right now on February 11th. On February 12th, Lee is a special one-day event in honor of the 35th anniversary of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Regal Cinemas will be having a special 7 p.m. free showing of the movie. So if you can get over there, you can see that. Game of Thrones will probably have a prequel on HBO as early as, get this, next year. Crazy, huh? Legion, one of my favorite shows on FX, is entering its 3rd and final season. Noah Hawley has said he had always envisioned it as just 3 seasons. Professor X will be showing up this year, which is going to be cool. According to Chris Pratt, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is still a go. They are using James Gunn's script. And Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok, has said that he is not. Oh no, you're making me so nervous. Is not going to direct this script. But, we'll see what happens. Jason Blum has announced that they are working on a sequel to 2018's Hollywood sequel. So a sequel to the sequel.
Halloween.
You said Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood.
It's okay. Halloween. Keep reading.
Both murder.
I'm gonna tell you.
horror.
Avengers Endgame
Horror
got
movie.
if you watched the Super Bowl, Avengers Endgame got a trailer during the Super Bowl, a crappy trailer, I think, and it's been reported to be, the movie has been reported to be 3 hours long. Supernatural aired its underwhelming 300th episode. I'll talk to you about that later, Katie. It was fine. It was nice. It shed some tears, but it was boring. All right, a spin-off movie from Aquaman is in the works. It's called The Trench. It will be more like a horror film, which is cool. They're building a universe around They're calling it the Aquaverse. James Cameron says that the new Terminator film is called Terminator Dark Fate. We should hear more about that later.
There's no fate but what we make.
That is true. And the History Channel has ordered a second season for its hit UFO series, Project Blue Book, because apparently it's doing great in gangbusters. And I have beat the clock.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice.
Well done, Jim.
Okay, I didn't confirm this, but I heard that Aquaman broke $1 billion worldwide, and it's now the second highest grossing movie by Warner Brothers.
Oh, by Warner Brothers. I know it's the highest
yeah.
superhero movie, the highest DC movie.
DC, yeah.
Yep.
Second highest from Warner Brothers. It falls just behind
Beat you, Batman.
Harry Potter and the
Until
Deathly
the
Hallows Part
next
2.
Batman.
So that's still their biggest one. What'd you say?
It's first highest grossing. Congratulations, Fish Person. It's the top grossing Warner Brothers film until the next Batman. And director Matt Reeves, I'm talking to you. Okay, I hear you're on the lookout for the next Batman, and you've been knocking on Twilight's door with that Robert Pattinson guy.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean,
Too
who
skinny.
needs...
No.
Exactly. What are our opinions, Katie? What do you think? A sparkle vampire as Batman?
There's more
Well-
issues to that, but it would take a long time for me to talk about.
Lot
But
to
there's,
unpack,
it's not
a lot to
that.
unpack.
If he's doing most of his things at night and lurking in the shadows, we probably won't have to worry about the sparkling.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Except-
true.
Although that was, part of Lego 2. Batman put on a sparkly outfit for a little while.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was kind of, and he fell
Yeah.
in love, and he felt all the emotions that I think the Adam West Batman used to feel. You're going to make a
Real
point.
quick though, because I know we already passed our 3 minutes, but apparently was a rumor that there might be an intermission in Endgame because in the pre-screenings, no one went to the bathroom the whole time because they did not want to miss anything.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And by the way,
that's pretty bad if they make a movie so long you got to take a piss in the middle of it.
well, it is It's
Yeah.
3 hours long right now. There's been a lot of discussion about
Some
that.
of us just stay very hydrated, Luke.
I think,
Some of us wear adult diapers to the movies.
Some of us don't want to skip over the big Marvel film that is coming, or the celebration on March 9th.
Why don't you
that
tell
we're
us
having.
about that?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Kyle Chrise is organizing it. He's the guy on the couch. But I'm going to throw to him, and he's going to pitch this amazing event.
Well, I mean, our con shows are big bread and butter, but we also do. Well, it's not even a monthly show anymore. It's more kind of centered around events. And at Black Cat Comics here in Burbank on Magnolia, we're going to do a big Captain Marvel party March 9th. That's the weekend the movie comes out. We're going to have old school video game tournaments. We're going to have some MCU trivia. Our cosplay comedy is going to be the centerpiece. We're going to do musical improv. I've got cosplayers from far and wide of the valley coming, and it's going to be a huge event right here at Black Cat Comics in Burbank. Great little shop.
and we will put a link to that on the site. And where can they get more information at?
Cosplay Comedy on Facebook or Instagram, just at Cosplay Comedy, or Twitter even. I don't know. Those are the three main ones. Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, Batman, could you give us a trivia to move us into our next section
I
here?
absolutely will. Now, the answer to this was mentioned a little bit ago. This is Marvel trivia, so I don't really know this stuff. What member of the Guardians, am I saying that right? Guardians of the Galaxy?
Close enough.
That works.
Serves as the guardian of the Keystone Quadrant. I'm doing an impersonation.
Keystone.
Like
Is that
drinking
Pennsylvania?
Keystone beer?
Recently,
Because that would
recently-
be Chris. That would be Star-Lord drinking Keystone beer.
My guess would have been Gamora.
Recently,
Gamora. Yeah.
no. Recently, I was a rodent, a trash panda.
Oh, Rocket.
Rocket Raccoon.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Rocket
The
Raccoon.
model for Rocket.
Yeah, you
That's
read
right.
the news, you just don't listen to it.
Yeah.
What you say? Okay.
Fake news.
All right,
Fake Marvel
real
news.
quick before we jump into our Long Beach Comic Con and our comedy cosplay section, we're going to do something that we call the cosplay buzz. We're going to start with Katie, and what this is tell us what it is. What are you geeking out about right now? And go.
So lately, as of like the last couple weeks, I have been pretty much spending all my free time playing the DLC for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And it's really difficult, and I've been frustrated, but that's what I've been throwing pretty much all my attention in. And then I did finish watching You, the Netflix show
you did?
You. Yes. And
You and 40 million
that
other people.
was creepy.
I saw that
so,
too.
Yes.
Brad introduced me.
Yes. It's good, but it's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I've heard about. I saw first 2 episodes, and then I was done with
It
it.
had a little bit of that like American Psycho kind of feel to it in a way.
That's cool.
But he's so cute.
Yeah, I hear they're rebooting. What's the other show he was on? Gossip
Gossip Girl.
I
Oh,
heard
really?
They're going to reboot Gossip Girl, so we'll see. They're going to tug a war with him.
They'll be Snapchatting in it this time. Yeah.
Derek, what are you buzzing about?
Okay, 2 things really quickly. I started watching The Masked Singer, which I thought was going to be I thought it was going to be like this guilty pleasure type thing, and I was just going to skip through for a little bit just to kill some time one day, but then I kind of got hooked because the whole mystery aspect of trying to figure it out, because I get addicted to puzzles really easily, is really interesting, and some of the
Yeah.
performances really are incredible. Some are just bad because they're not singers.
Yeah.
But they just sing anyway, and then some of them are like clearly people who've been singing a long time, and they're amazing. And it's fun.
Didn't they have like Terry Bradshaw?
Hey, this is my time. Let me finish.
How would you guess that?
Spoiler, Jim. But another thing, yesterday I went and saw The Kid Who Would Be King, which was the kind of movie that I was watching, like, I wish this had come out when I was 12. Because it kind of had... I mean, it's not one of those that I watch and be like, oh, instant classic, but it's just a really fun adventure. It also has Patrick Stewart, who is my favorite actor, and it had the main kid in it was Louis George Serkis, who is Andy Serkis's son, and you can see the resemblance when you're watching him. And all of the young cast does a great job, and it's really cool. It ties in this Arthurian legend, and if you can, I recommend taking a 12-year-old with you, with permission. See it.
I know. Especially if you live in a cave,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, or Batman.
Bring
Yeah.
a 12-year-old with you, but please survive the trip home.
Yeah, because we saw it with a couple kids from church, and just
Yeah.
like the 12-year-old that was with us was really into it, and his reactions kind of made the whole experience that much more fun.
Nice.
Cool. And question real quick.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the Jean-Luc Picard series that has been announced?
Yes.
Starring your favorite actor?
Yes, I am looking forward to that. And some of the announcements that have come out about it made me even more interested. Maybe,
super stoked about
Maybe
that.
it'll convince me to pay for CBS All Access again for a little while. I don't know.
I'm just going to pirate it from someplace. I'm going to
You
toss
just
it.
said that.
Toss it
Not
under
on the
podcast.
show.
I'm lying
Okay.
now.
Speaking
Okay,
of being mad at people, until this year, I'd never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's
people-
Crazy talk.
But I've heard this is the best way ever to do it. Like, I've had people like,
There
oh
are
my
lots of
gosh,
butts in the
like,
show,
I
you're right.
envy you that you never had to like deal with waiting years for things. So I figured out, like, if I watch 5 episodes a week for up until when the next season comes out.
April.
But I'm already on season 5.
No.
Yeah, I know.
You started
So-
3 weeks ago.
You started 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
so I'm way ahead, but I'm getting more and more into it as I go. And Lannister always pays his debts. So like I'm just
nice.
I'm really liking a lot about it.
You know nothing, Luke
Tyrion's-
Cheeseman.
Yeah, you know nothing, Jon Snow. But Tyrion's definitely my favorite character. I like Jon Snow, and then
Cersei.
Cersei.
One question. Right now, if you could pick any character to sit on the Iron Throne, who would you prefer?
Oh, definitely Tyrion.
Okay.
By far. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's not like as like a show like Breaking Bad is, where it's like hard to turn it off from like scene to scene, because it's like you watch Breaking Bad. Like I was rewatching some of it recently, and I was having a hard time like, oh, I'll turn it off at a scene, but each scene made you want to watch the next one. Where Game of Thrones jumps around so much, it's easy to kind of like, okay, well, I'll watch, unless there's like a really good scene, like, oh, what happens here? Like, it doesn't quite have the hook that like a show like Breaking Bad does, but I have been definitely drawn to it and different characters, and then some characters like, oh, I just want them to die. kind of a thing.
We did not prepare you for this part, but do you have something that you are geeking out about right now, Chris?
I mean, it's been out since Christmas, but I'm still I'm on like my third viewing of Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Which is, and I've been watching all the award buzz. It's been collecting, it collected the Golden Globes, it collected the BAFTAs, and it's up for the Oscar, and I think it's going to sweep that. I think this is, as much as we want to talk about Endgame and Infinity War, I think this could be a turning point where, could animation be better than live action? I don't know. This could
Katie, you were saying the same thing.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Yeah.
I can chime in. Now, I haven't had a television for many decades, and I just got one of those antenna numbers. There's this show that's about these 7 stranded castaways who are stuck on an island. And each episode, the drama gets ratcheted up. Will they be able to make a raft out of coconuts?
Yeah.
Will Professor get the radio to work? How does Mr. Howell get the New York Times delivered every day to the island? It's mystery. It's magical. I just can't wait to find out how those scrappy castaways get off that island.
There's a great doc on Amazon about the.
What's Amazon?
Amazon is this. It's now a movie service, but
It's a TV station.
It's all about the
You're confusing me.
anti-capitalist messages of Gilligan's Island, which is I'm fascinated by. And
What's it called?
It might be called the something communist Gilligan's Island or something.
Hey, buddy, thanks for ruining the show for me.
I
pal.
know.
Appreciate it.
This is all American Batman we're talking about here.
This is 1960s Batman.
Well, I recommend. If you want to get your mind blown, check out
gonna
this
watch it.
Gilligan's
I'm down.
doc. Yeah,
I'm down.
Is it better than Fire?
better than the Fire Fest. Better than
Fire
than
Festival.
one of them. Yeah.
They're all over the place. And for me, I do have to say that at the beginning of the year, was it last year or this year? I said that I promised that I was going to also do Game of Thrones because I had never seen an episode. So I am being dragged along in this, but I am loving every second of it. I think Game of Thrones is just a spectacular show.
Also, it's a little bit raunchy, but there's this show called The Golden Girls. Oh, don't get me started.
All right. I'm also really into the fact that the biggest new character to come out of Captain Marvel is a cat called Goose. And I'm super excited about that. And anyways, we'll know more because the embargo and all the stories on Goose drop tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So we'll know more about Goose.
Oh.
All right. So we are starting our section. If we had a station break, this is where we'd put it. Let's break for a second. All right. Long Beach Comic Expo, which is, I don't know how many years it's been going on now, but it's this coming weekend. It promises to be a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite things to go to as far as Comic-Cons that are local because it is smaller. You can meet a lot of people, and it's kind of scrappy. And did you have a Batman is staring at me? You had a trivia for us before we started the Long Beach Comic Expo.
We can get into some trivia. Who hosts the Cosplay Comedy is this guy named Spider Kyle. And he's really hilarious, and he's the host, and he's a great guy, and he gets this ragtag band of misfits. It's not just superhero cosplayers. It could be a character from a video game, or it could be a character it could be the Burger King trademark, copyright, or whatever. It's just crazy, hilarious all the time. It could be anybody. But Spidey Kyle is a great MC. So here's the Spider-Man trivia. True or false, Spider-Man battles the chameleon in the first issue of The Amazing Spider-Man. True or false, Katie?
I have no idea.
That wasn't an option of true or false.
I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Derek, true or false?
I really don't know, but I'm just gonna guess true.
True. Okay.
True.
James, true is correct. That's right.
Yes.
The chameleon.
All right.
Well, but Long Beach Comic Expo, it's going to be 3:30 on Saturday, the perfect time for comedy. I don't know. Sometimes Saturday at 3:30, I just start laughing for no reason whatsoever. But you'll love Cosplay Comedy.
Asterisk on the trivia question. We're talking Amazing Spider-Man #1, not the first Spider-Man appearance, which was Amazing Fantasy 15, where there was no superpowered villain. That was just the burglar.
Oh,
So
let me write an asterisk. Give me that pen.
Here you go. So let me go ahead and get the specifics out of the way. Long Beach Comic Con is being a Comic Expo. The Comic Con is in the fall, but Long Beach Comic Expo is being held at the Long Beach Convention Center. They still have plenty of tickets available. It's right there. Right there on the coast. You can basically almost get over to the aquarium and Queen Mary and everything over there. It's super easy parking. On Friday, they're having what's called the Comic Creators Conference. Derek mentioned that in the on the bulletin board right at the beginning of the show. And basically what that is for people who are interested in drawing, writing, or being involved in the production of comic books, they have a special conference that you can sign up and go to. We've been a couple of times. It's a lot of fun. We know some people that are going this weekend, and it's not quite the Comic Con experience, but it's kind of a much more specialized experience. It's really cool. Now let's talk about
one mistake we made last year is they had like these little like food for people, and we went and ate at a restaurant and missed something we could have seen because not to say that
we
they'll do that
paid
again.
for the conference and got no food out of it because we went off site during the
because
eating
we're like,
part.
oh, we need an eating part, and then like we missed something, and then we came, oh, they had food here.
That's really great, but I really did enjoy it. It was a cool way to network with a lot of people in the comic industry, especially on the West Coast. They flew some people in from the East Coast too, which was really.
Are you
cool.
saying it's more focused on the actual comics?
The actual comics.
Oh, that's great.
Get out of town,
Yeah.
Who does that?
Right.
So, but then once you hit Saturday and Sunday, then that's when all the fans show up, and that's kind of what we are talking about today. And I was talking with Kyle right before the show. It's been hard finding out about the panels, and you guys are both talking about that.
I went to search to see, okay, what am I going to do this weekend? But nothing.
Was
It's
that a
okay.
Dr. Evil?
It's okay. We
Well,
still love you.
And
Yeah, it's like a hero's journey itself. All the assumptions from Act 1 are going to get thrown out the window by Act 3. So here we are the week before, and it's time to just put up your dukes and hey, it's a scramble, but we're gonna still make it happen. And
Is it true that the promoters for the Fire Festival have taken over Long Beach
not
Comic
quite
Expo?
that bad.
Okay.
I don't think there's
That's
any
good to hear.
supermodels involved. But we did reach out to them today, and apparently there is a press release going out first thing in the morning with the whole panel schedule. So we will know more then. But they were nice enough to actually share some of the panels ahead of time to kind of give us an idea of some things that are happening on Saturday. Katie, could you tell us one of the panels that's happening on Saturday?
Yeah, there is Saturday at 10:30 to 11:30. It's comics breaking in and staying in. The panelists, I guess, would be what it would be, right? John Nee, Joseph Illidge,
yeah.
James Jameson, Javier
Javier Hernandez. Yeah.
And it's basically talking about, I'll just read the description. I'm guessing this is what they sent you guys, right?
Right, that's what they sent us, yeah.
The road to a career in comics and the creative arts can take many twists and turns, and the twists don't stop once you get in. So join Marvel Comics publisher John Nee, editor Joseph Illidge, artist James Jameson from American Gods, and cartoonist Javier Hernandez for a riveting discussion of the different ways they've developed their careers. So, yeah.
That's really great. And I have not been drinking, but just like Batman was just pointing out, they have a really strong emphasis on comics and creating comics at this convention, which is really cool. Or Cheeseman, you like this next one, voice acting, and you guys were talking about voice acting before the show. What's the next one on Saturday?
Saturday at 11 till noon is voice acting,
Yeah.
Secret of the Stars, with speakers James Mathis III, Aaron Zeck, Eric Bauza, Rick Simmons.
Yeah.
And its
Ricky
description
Simmons,
is some of the
it's,
most exciting voice
Simons.
actors working today take part in a very special panel. And the names all again, but James Mathis was the voice of Black Panther. Eric Boza was Master Splinter and Bugs Bunny.
Wow,
That's really cool.
That's pretty awesome.
it's range.
Yep. That's some range right there.
Yeah.
Rick Simmons was Invader Zim's Grr and Bloaty.
I don't know where he's at.
If you don't know
Yeah.
Invader Zim, it probably
Yeah.
But
Yeah, maybe
if you
I
do know
should have been
those,
called
those
out for
are-
this one, but,
those are all big titles, and I'm sure those people do have a lot of cool stories.
Yeah, but a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
cool
really cool.
voiceover stuff, and the voiceover panels are always a lot of fun. They usually do some voices for you,
Yep.
Yeah.
as well. And sometimes they'll even read some random script, and then they'll do the character voices, and sometimes multiple. Like they'll be like, "All right, you're switching to this character now," and then they'll do this. So the voice actor panels are always fun to attend. I've
Yeah,
seen several.
and Derek, you were pointing out another panel that they were having Saturday as well.
Yeah, there's a Captain Marvel Origins panel there. So it's the description is a look at Captain Marvel Carol Danvers with two of the writers who know her best, Jerry Conway, who introduced the Miss Marvel version of Carol in the 1970s Miss Marvel comic series, and bestselling novelist Margaret Stoll, whose The Life of Captain Marvel comic retold the character's history as a lead-in to the upcoming feature film. So I imagine in this they'll probably address some of the history about how both DC and Marvel Comics had characters called Captain Marvel for a while, and there were copyrights issues, and how they ended up with the DC one just being called Shazam, and now this one being Captain Marvel, and how even in Marvel Comics they've had several characters take on that title, and she was Ms. Marvel for a little while, and yeah. Anyway, I'm sure that's interesting with that kind of stuff, with the movie coming out soon.
And Jerry Conway's a master. I mean, I don't know if you know his story, but he's the writer who killed Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man in the 70s. He also took over for Stan Lee. He was the writer after Stan Lee for Spider-Man at only 19 years old.
Wow.
So this guy's a legend.
So it's worth going to that panel just to see him, probably.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The one panel that did stick out.
That is Saturday, 11:30 to 12:30, by the way. So it overlaps with some of the other stuff we talked about. Yeah.
But Saturday, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I'll probably be in your panel. But if I somehow cannot go in because it's so full of so many people, Battlestar Galactica, there are still those who believe. The author, Mark A. Altman, discusses So Say We All, his new oral history of Battlestar Galactica from Tor Books. What's an oral history in a book? Anyways, and it celebrates the series' 40th anniversary, the original series, the reboot series, the 1980 movie that everybody loves to hate on, but it's still awesome. As anybody knows, I'm a gigantic fan of Battlestar Galactica in all its forms. Anytime something pops up on the calendar, I make sure that I am there. So I'm really looking forward to this. And we don't need to go over all these, but like on Sunday, there's a cool something that Batman might be interested in. Justice League Detroit, a 35th anniversary celebration.
That sounds exciting.
In 1983, DC Comics' Justice League franchise was reinvented with a lineup that would include Aquaman in a leadership role. Sorry, Batman.
Yeah.
And showcase new members.
Put the fish guy in charge.
Commander
Smart.
Steel, Vixen, Gypsy, and Vibe. So they're going to be.
That panel has Jerry Conway also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
He's making the rounds. And one other thing that's kind of cool about that's happening this weekend is something called Geek Fest. We've had the director of Geek Fest in here before, and it's a traveling sci-fi and fantasy film festival. And so they're going to be there both days of the convention, and they have a lot going on.
They have a lot of fan films.
A lot of fan films, and it's really, really cool. And they have an R2-D2 building workshop. They have the convention has a special relationship with, is it NASA space something? Anyways, so you can find out a lot about
the Jet Exploration Lab is right in Pasadena, right?
That's what it is. So, but first, before we kind of wrap up this Long Beach Comic-Con stuff, I want to hear your panel. How does it work? The comedy cosplay.
So it's basically, it's stand-up comedy, the comics performing in costume and in character. So, for Long Beach Expo, we have Spider-Man, that's myself, Batman, the legend.
Dressed as himself.
I've got the Terminator. I've got Jason Voorhees doing a little. Some call him a hack comic. I don't know.
And they did a great job at the last one with Michael Myers, where they did the little poll.
Legendary.
That was
I
great.
wish I could get to Michael back, but we've got Voorhees this time. So I got a Mega Man. I got the T-Rex from Jurassic Park coming in to do a hot five.
T-Rex.
Hermione Granger.
Oh, wow.
Harley Quinn in a special Valentine's theme outfit. Han Solo, and I don't want to tease it, but we might have the Black Panther himself. So.
Oh, nice. Derek, you were with us when we saw it. You really were impressed with. Who was it you were impressed with?
Well, I think my favorite. Well, I don't know, because Batman was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Batman was the best.
Well, that's a given.
He dropped the mic at the
But
end.
everybody loved Batman. So everybody loved.
Here's the
He
big
was very mean
closer.
to Robin.
But
though.
one that I loved particularly was Deanna Troi.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
I felt like there were a couple of deep dive jokes in there that not everybody got, but I did.
Oh, he was.
And I was
loving
just
it.
laughing like crazy.
I was laughing louder than all the people
around.
around me, which that's kind of my favorite kind of comedy sometimes, just when I get jokes that make me feel smarter than other
He's
people.
an inside joke kind of guy. He'll wear cosplay that only like a few people
And
will
it's
get.
so great because I one year for Comic-Con and WonderCon, I think I went as J.J. Abrams in his TED Talk.
Yes, you
Yep.
did.
He
Yeah,
did.
so I was
He
carrying-
really did do that.
Yeah, I think
Basically,
it was both those conventions.
Black sweater
yeah.
in a box or something
Yeah,
like that.
a box with the question mark on it, and I had the glasses kind of like his and the black sweater. Yeah. And then I did the character from Rick and Morty one episode, which anybody watches Rick and Morty got.
Oh, they love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a really good one. Yeah.
Derek, I think you made a good point, is that these comics aren't making fun of the characters. They're kind of having fun with the characters and showing their true geek cred, too. It's a very loving kind of jab.
Is it in, like, a normal panel room? Okay.
Yeah, we just take over the room. You know, we stand in front of the table. We make it as close to like a comedy club setting as we can, under the bright lights and whatnot. But it's imagine going to the comedy club and seeing your favorite Avengers up there.
I gotta tell you, the last time I was surprised in a good way, because like we knew you guys, we were gonna come see your panel, like, oh, let's just go up there, and then we show up and there's a line down the hallway and around. I'm like, what happened here? How did they get so many people into this panel?
It was pretty popular.
It was awesome.
Well, I mean, we've been to about at least a half dozen cons, so I don't know if we have a reputation, because I certainly don't have the traction on social media that I would want at Cosplay Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but I think they see it in the programming, and it's always after lunch. It's always good, get everyone after they've walked around everywhere, they spent their money, and now they're looking for something more.
And there's no 2-drink minimum.
No 2-drink minimum.
And here's what I did: put up a sign that says "Free hugs from Gal Gadot." People pack the house.
That's awesome.
Also, remember, it is Long Beach. So the entire city smells like Snoop Dogg. So be careful driving on your way home.
That's true. Long Beach, it's a little bit smaller than LA. So LA Comic Con, we had 325 seats. I think we're only going to have if memory serves me right, about 125 seats. So if you want to get in, make sure that you're there 3:30 on Saturday. Line up and get ready.
But don't undersell it, because this is a really fun con. It's always pretty packed. This is the con where Alan Tudyk actually filmed some of the Con Man episodes, which they really love their people down there. They love their fans, and we have had a great show. I thank you guys for showing up. But real quick, if you could tell us where to find information about the March 9th show again.
You can look at facebook.com/cosplay comedy or at cosplay comedy on Instagram. Those are the two main ways to find it. We've got the Facebook event went live this week. It's March 9th here at Black Cat Comics in Burbank. They've got information on their website as well. Sign up. We want you to sign up, because we're going to have video game contests, trivia contests. So get your name in the mix early. If you show up door of, you get to enjoy the comedy, but I can't guarantee that you'll be in for the prizes that we're giving out.
Big prizes.
Batman, you're going to be there?
I'm going to be there. I might help host the Marvel trivia, which is going to be awkward because I don't know who any of these weirdos are. And I'll definitely be part of the Cosplay Comedy because I have a lot to say. Okay. And most of it's funny.
All right, at this point, imagine that music starts playing as we go out. Thank you guys for tuning in this week to the Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show. My name is Jim. I'm the managing editor. You can find me I have a brand new tag this week. It's Jim Fry LA. That's my Twitter. I've always had it. I just never talk about it.
Oh, so use that one now.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Derek Sams. As I said, I'm a contributor to theconguy.com. You can find me on Twitter at ConGuyDerek. I'll be honest, I'm not on social media that much because I like to be sneaky like that. But you can also find me here and on theconguy.com.
I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter at KT_Christine. I do a lot of retweets, and whenever I see con stuff, I retweet it. And then on Instagram, you can find me at Katie's Fairy Tale. I will hopefully be cosplaying this weekend. I don't really know yet on timing and stuff, but I will hopefully be there, and I will update my Instagram story about that. So if you follow that, you'll know.
You'll find me at Retro Batman anywhere you search it.
Anywhere.
I'm Kyle Chrise. You're going to have to figure out how to spell it. Find me on Facebook or on Instagram or KyleChrise.com if you want to hear my civilian comedy. Otherwise, cosplay comedy for all your superhero antics.
And I'm Cheeseman on the Couch. You can find me on Twitter at CheeseOnCouch and on theconguy.com. And I just want to tell you, we'll have a lot more of the programming stuff once it's released. We'll have more about Sunday, more about Saturday. I'm sure we'll be listing that because I think a lot of it's being released tomorrow.
Yep. We hope to have all of the panels listed on the site. Thank you so much, Batman. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Thank you.
Chrise, for coming on the show with us tonight. Hey, Batman, could you take us out real quick with one last trivia?
One last trivia. What is the name of the teenager Bruce Banner saved from the gamma bomb that originally turned Banner into the Hulk? He did Super Freak. Super Freak. She's super freaky.
I have no idea.
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones. That's right.
Thank you
Rick
so
James.
much. All right, thank you, everybody. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
That was Rick James.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.